Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. Today we are going to start second chapter of cybersecurity. Here are the contents of second chapter. And what is the name of that chapter? Cyber offenses and cyber stalking. So in this chapter we are going to cover criminals plan, cyber stalking, a real life incident of cyber stalking, cyber cafe and cyber crimes, botnets, cybercrime, mobile and wireless devices, credit card frauds, security challenges posed by mobile devices, authentication service security, and attacks on mobile or cell phones. So, all these points we are going to cover under this second chapter. So, first, introduction of this chapter. Faster global connectivity has resulted in an increase in internet crimes. Because of this faster global connectivity, crime is also increased, requiring the implementation of regulations to protect people. Because of this crime increased, we have to implement regulation to protect the people as well as protect the data. To keep up with the changing age, the Indian Parliament passed the Information Technology Act 2000, which was based on the model law of the United Nations Commission on the International Trade Law. Legislation specifies the offenses. Offenses means illegal act, crime. This legislation specifies the offenses in great detail as well as the consequences for each type of offenses. If you do this, what will be the consequence? Everything is mentioned here in this legislation. Cyber offenses refer to illegal activities that are carried out in a sophisticated manner using a computer as either a tool or target or both. So what is cyber offense? Offense means illegal act. And how we are going to conduct that act? Using computer as a either as a tool or target or both. So this is the definition of cyber offense. The following are the offences covered by the Information Technology Act of 2000. So these are the offences covered under IT Act 2000. Tampering with source document on computer. This is a offense. Then using a computer system to hack. Publishing of obscene information in an electronic format. The ability of the controller to issue commands. Instructions from a controller to a subscriber to extend decryption facilities. Misrepresentation will result in a penalty. Penalty for breach of privacy and confidentiality. Penalty for releasing a digital signature certificate that contains misleading information in specified areas. Publication with the intent to defraud. Sanctions or confiscation must not conflict with other punishment. The ability to investigate criminal offences. So these are the offences covered under Information Technology Act. Next point is criminal plan. Criminals exploit various techniques and tools to find the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of their victim. If you want to search anything about your victim, what you will find? Their weaknesses. Because we have to use their computer, we have to exploit their data. So for that reason, criminal will use various techniques and tools to find the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of their victim. First plan of criminal to find out the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of their victim. The victim can be an individual, group, or the organization. Active and passive attack can be planned by the criminal. So here victim can be particular individual or group or organization. And active and passive attack can be planned by the criminal on these victims. What is active attack? Active attack are used to modify the system, whereas passive attacks try to gain information regarding the victim. Here we are going to modify the system. Active attack. That attack is active. We are going to modify the system. We are making changes into the system directly. But here passive attack means we are just monitoring. We are just observing the victim, how that victim is working, how the day to day work of that particular victim. Only observation is going on in this attack, passive attack. So here we are gaining information about the victim. Active attacks could affect the authenticity because directly we are going to attack on the system. Authenticity is going to affect means we have, if a particular attacker has entered into your system means this is affected, authenticity is affected. Integrity and availability of data, that is also affected. They are going to modify the things, they are going to destroy the system, so everything is going to affect. Whereas passive attack could affect to violation of confidentiality. They are going to gain the information. In that information they are getting the confidential information of that particular user. So here we are violating, or passive attacker violating the confidentiality. But active attack affects on authenticity, integrity and availability of data. The next, attacks can also be classified as a inside attack as well as outside attack. Insider attack and outsider attack. So in this, inside attack are attempted within the boundary of an organization. This type of attack attempted within the boundary of an organization. It is generally attempted by the insiders, who are the employees or who are the inside of this particular organization. These people are going to attempt this type of attack, inside attack. These people can have access to the resources of an organization easily than outsider. They are insiders, so they can easily access the resources of the organization. Outside attack are attempted by the outside the boundary of your organization. It is generally attempted through the remote access connection. Remotely, attacker is going to access to your system or the internet by the insider or outsider. Insider is going to help to this outsider. Insider is going to help to this outsider to conduct the attack or to conduct the offense, who is not directly connected with the organization. Understood this part? Criminal plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Then now we will see categories of cyber crime, cyber attack categories. So these are the phases of criminal plan. Accordingly, criminal will act. Criminals smartly plot the attack, and to do so, they follow the general strategies or plan as depicted in this figure. This is the plan, how criminal works. So it has a three prime phases. First is recognize, then scanning or scrutinizing gathered information, and third one is launching an attack. So here recognize is the first phase, then scanning or scrutinizing gathered information, and here launching an attack. Here we are actually gathering information. Here we are doing scanning or scrutinizing of that gathered information. And finally, after getting all the information, we can launch the attack. So these are the phases of criminal plan. So we will see each phase in detail. First, reconnaissance. It is the first phase of criminal plan. It is also called as the information gathering phase. Here we are gathering each and every information about our victim, wherein as much as possible information is gathered regarding victims or targets. This phase work runs passively. This is not active attack, this is the passive attack. Passively, we are observing each and everything about our victim. So it is treated as a passive attack. This is a reconnaissance. The main objectives of footprinting are, this means, reconnaissance means footprinting. Here we are gathering information about our victim. Another name for this reconnaissance, footprinting. Main objectives of footprinting are to collect network information such as domain name, IP address of live host, TCP and UDP services running, networking protocol, VPN points, authentication mechanism, etc. Here attacker will get all this information about the victim. What is his domain name? What is IP address for live host? TCP and UDP services running. Which TCP and UDP services are running? Which networking protocol they are using? Victim using? Which virtual private network is there? Which authentication mechanism they are using? These are some information who is going to collect by the attacker passively. To collect system information such as user and group name, system banners, routing table, system architecture, remote system type, system name, passwords, employee details, organization websites, location details, address and phone numbers, press release, subdomains of website, etc. These are information are collected by attacker or criminal. Passively, they are collecting all this information about the organization. So after that, they will analyze it and try to attack on the system. So footprinting can be categorized based on the manner of collecting necessary information. Passive attack is also called as a passive footprinting. Passive attack is also called as a passive footprinting. Here we are gathering information. Footprinting means gathering information or recognize. Passively, we are collecting information. A passive attack tries to gain knowledge of the system but does not affect system resources. Just we are trying to get the knowledge about that particular system, victim system, but it will not affect on the system resources. Passive attack are in a nature of spying on or scrutinizing the transmission. Just we are observing the thing, how they are working, what data they are transmission of their data, to whom they are transmitting that data. Everything is observation. About everything observation is going on. The objective of this attack is to obtain information is being transmitted and about the system being targeted. Which system we have to target and what information they are going to transmit. Everything they have to observe. That is the objective of this attack. Types of passive attack. Passive attacks are of two types. First is a release of message content. Here you can check the diagram as well as with this content. A release of message content. In the release of message content, sensitive or confidential information may leak through an electronic mail. Conversation over telephone or through transferred files. So here Priya reads the content of message which Raj sent to Rahul. Raj is going to send some message to the Rahul, but here Priya is a spy. Passively, she is reading everything about what Raj is sending to Rahul. This is a release of message content. That message is going to release to somebody else, leaking that information to somebody else. This is a passive attack. Passively, she is observing everything, what conversation is going on in this in between Raj and Rahul. Understood this release of message content?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Second is traffic analysis. Second type of passive attack is traffic analysis. Traffic analysis attack is used to analyze the traffic to find out the location, discover communication host, and scrutinizing the occurrence of that communication host. Sorry, I have lost the network connection. So I was on passive attack, types of passive attack, and second type of attack is traffic analysis. Here in this traffic analysis, Priya is going to analyze the traffic, what traffic or what data they are going to send, what type of data they are going to send to other person. Where were their host, computer systems? What is the location of that host? Then scrutinize the occurrence, means frequency of sending messages to each other and what length of that message. So everything is observed under this traffic analysis. So these are the two types of passive attack. First is a release of message content. Everything what message Raj is sending to the Rahul, that is observed by the Priya. Content of that message is leaking to this Priya. And in the second type, traffic analysis, she is observing traffic of these two, Raj and Rahul. What message Raj is sending to the Rahul? What type of message? She is observing the pattern of message exchange between the Raj and Rahul. Where is the location of the host computers? What are the occurrences of that messages? What are the length of that exchange messages? All these things are observed under this traffic analysis. Understood this passive attack? Yes, everyone? Unmute yourself. Got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Passive attack. Now next type is active attack. Active attack is also called as a active footprinting. Actively we are going to gather the information. After attack we are starting gathering information. Active attack tries to modify system resources or effect on the performance of the system. This attack will affect on the performance of the system. It will modify the system resources. It will stop the working of that particular victim computer. Then active attack engrosses several variations of the data stream or formation of false statement. So it will engrosses several variation of the data stream. What is actual data? It will make changes into that data. It will variate that data and formation of false statement. Types of active attack. The active attack can be classified into following categories. First is masquerade. Masquerade attack occurs when one entity pretend to be different entity. Here you can see this diagram. This Priya is pretending that she is a Raj. Actually Raj is here. But she is pretending that I am Raj, you can communicate with me. She has sent such a message that Rahul will understand that yes, Raj is communicating me. But actually Raj is not going to communicate with Rahul. Somebody else, that Priya is going to communicate with this Rahul. This attack is called as a masquerade. She is trying to fool Rahul that I am Raj and you can send some detail to me. And Raj don't know about this communication. This type of attack is called as masquerade attack and this is an active attack. Actively she is getting information from the Rahul. Clear this masquerade attack? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
this is the first attack, active attack. Now second attack is modification of message. This is also active attack. Modification of message means that several parts of the message is modified or that message is delayed or reorganized to make an illegitimate effect. So here also Raj is not involved in the communication. Priya is going to make changes in the message. Priya modifies the message and send to the Rahul. Actually Raj has sent some message that we are going to meet on Sunday. He has sent this message on Monday that next Sunday we are going to meet. This is simple example I am giving. The business message will be different. They are sensitive. They are sending sensitive data only. So here I am giving you simple example. Raj send message to the Rahul that we are meeting on Sunday, coming Sunday, and you have to give me such information on that day, or you can bring some envelope that I have shared with you, and you using that envelope you can identify me, or I will send someone using that you can identify me. But Priya knows everything what Raj has sent to the Rahul. Priya will change that message that we can meet on Saturday only, before one day. When Raj has planned it is on Sunday, but Priya changed that message, we will meet on Saturday, and I will send someone behalf of me to collect that material. Here she is modifying the message, sending that message to the Rahul, modified message sending to the Rahul. And Raj don't know about that. He will go on Sunday only. So this attack is called as a modification of message. Modification of message means that several part of message is modified, or that message is delayed or reorganized to make an illegitimate effect. The second active attack is modification of message. Now third one is a repudiation. A repudiation means you have sent some message to another user, and after that you are neglecting that, or you are refusing that I have not sent the message. Repudiation is a type of attack made by either sender or receiver. Anyone can make this attack. Repudiation. The sender or receiver can refuse later that he or she has sent or received the message. Sender or receiver can refuse that later on that he or she has sent or received the message. For example, customer asks his bank to do transaction on his behalf, and later on the sender, that is customer, refuses that he had made such a request. He had not made such a request. This is called as a repudiation. Means one person is saying that you can do this thing for behalf of me, and afterward he is saying that I have not said something like this. That is called as a repudiation. This is a third type of active attack. Understood this repudiation?
Yes, ma'am.
Now replay attack. Next active attack is a replay attack. A replay attack entails passively capturing a message. Here first passively they will capture the message and then transmitting it to the other to accomplish an authorized effect. First they will passively capture the message from the Raj. Priya will capture message from the Raj passively. He don't know anything. Somebody is observing him. And after that transmit that message to Rahul. So Priya captures the message and can resend it multiple times. Once original message she has received, she can send that message to other person multiple times. That is called as a replay attack. Next, denial of service. Means your service is not going to work. Denial of service. Denial of service stops a regular use of communication services. You are going to access some website and that website is not going to open it. That is called as a denial of service. Website should show some information to the user. If that website is not showing anything, means it is denying the service. This type of attack might have a specific victim. For specific type of people only this type of attack is conducted. For example, an entity may hold back all messages intended for a particular designation. One more example, denial of service is the disruption of whole network, either by disabling the network or blocking it by messages so as to degrade performance. So here, for what purpose your system is created, that system is not working as per the requirement. That is called as a denial of service. Understood this? Yes. Denial
Yes,
of
ma'am.
service. So
Yes, ma'am.
what Priya is doing here, Priya overloads the server by giving false request. Actually, Raj is the real user who want to communicate with the Rahul. But Priya is sending such a messages to the Rahul, his inbox is overload. And now real message he is not able to get because of such a messages. This is called as a denial of service. Overload the server by giving false request. These are the active attack. Understood this part? Active attack and passive attack. It comes under recognize. That is printing. Is there any problem? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Plan. Everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any problem?
No, 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 ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Tomorrow we will see practical part of this. Actually, it is not there in our theory part, but I will show practically how we can collect the information. That is footprinting. I will give you some tasks to you also. You can observe the websites and collect the information about that website. That is called as a footprinting. So practically we will see tomorrow. Today I will finish this theory part. Tomorrow we will see some practical part. So you will come to know what type of data they are collecting from us, that criminals. Next is scanning or scrutinizing gathered information. Already we have collected information now, and that information we have to scan or scrutinize. So means scrutinize means which information is important for us, which is not important, that will be scrutinized later on. So scanning is an important step to inspect wisely while collecting information about the victim. So wisely we will collect the information about the victim, which information is required, that only consider for the attack. Following are the objectives of scanning process. First is a port scanning. Port scanning is used to identify open as well as closed port and services. This is a first scanning, that is a port scanning. Here we will get the open ports. For attack, open ports are required. So here they will first identify which ports are open. That will be identified here. Then network scanning is there. Network scanning is used to be aware of IP addresses and other associated information regarding the computer network system. So in this network scanning, they are getting the IP addresses of particular victim computer and other associated information about that system. And third one is the vulnerability scanning. Vulnerability scanning is used to recognize existing weakness. Vulnerability means weakness. What is existing weakness and loophole of your system? After getting all the information from the recognitions step or phase, we are going to get details about this by using this scanning, port scanning, network scanning, and vulnerability scanning. It comes under this next phase, second phase of criminal plan. In the hacking world, enumeration is the other word for the scanning or scrutinizing phase. The objective of this phase includes to validate user accounts and groups. Under this, we are going to validate user account and group. Have you got proper information from the first page? Have you means there we can get the user ID password also. Are that password working? So validation is going on here to discover shared resources and or network resources. So in this phase, we will get the shared resources as well as network resources to validate operating system and application that runs on the operating system. So using this also you will get the vulnerabilities of that particular system. What applications are there? Is there any vulnerable application? Using that application, can we attack on the system? All this information we have to get. This is the objective of this phase, scanning or scrutinizing. And last is the launching an attack. Third phase of criminal, gaining and maintaining the system access. Launching an attack means here actually we are getting the access of system. And that is not enough. Getting access is not enough. We have to maintain that access, system access. Because today some part is not possible. Tomorrow we have to come again to get the information. So gaining attack is essential, but with this we have to maintain our access. Again, whenever I want, I can come into the system, I can search into that, I will again go back. So last phase of criminal plan is launching an attack. This attack phase is the final step of the attack process. In this, hacker gains and maintain complete control of the system. The attack can be launched after scanning and scrutinizing using the following step. First step is crack or break the password. Then make use of that password. Third, implement the malicious application or command. We have to implement malicious application then and then only afterwards. We can again go into our system or backdoor. We can create backdoors. Using that, we can again go into the system. That is maintaining system access. If needed, hide the file. That application we have to hide. This application we have implemented. For example, Trojan virus is there. We have implemented that virus there. We have to hide that file from the other user. So they will not track us. How they have attack, how criminal has gained access to the system. That access path should not be tracked by the auditor or security person. For that reason, this file should be hidden. Cover the track to hide your illegitimate action by deleting some access logs. So everything, whatever you are doing with the system, everything is recorded under this logs, system logs. If you want to cover your track, then we have to delete the access logs, which will show how particular person enter into the system. So that logs we have to delete or to hide illegitimate action of the criminal. So this is the last phase of cyber criminal plan, launching an attack. So we have seen these 3 points of criminal plan. This one, reconnaissance, then scanning or scrutinizing gathered information, and launching an attack. These are the phases of criminal plan. What is the first phase? Reconnaissance. What is the use of that? Yes, unmute yourself.
Collect information. This would be like this.
Collect the information about the victim.
TCP, UDP service.
Yes. How we can collect that information?
By the network.
There, for that network, which method we are using? 2 types of attacks are there to getting the information. A passive attack and
Passive
active
and
attack.
active.
Passively and actively we can gather information. For that reason, they have given various types. How we can collect the information, release the message content. Then traffic analysis is there. Passively we can do these 2 way we can collect the information. Then active attack is there. Actively we can collect the information by using masquerade, modification of message, repudiation, replay, denial of service. These are the active attacks. Using these 2 way we can collect the information. Only collection of information is there. What type of information we are collecting, that we will consider in the next step. However we are getting information, everything we have to copy paste at our level. I will show that part tomorrow. Practically we will do. You can think about any website, we have to get the information of that website only. You think about that your website, you will work on your website. I will show you how you can collect the information of that website. So you will come to know that whether that website is weak or not. If it is weak, attack is possible. If it is not weak, then some other method or tools they have to use to attack on particular system. So then after that, scanning or scrutinizing there of your gathered information. For that reason, they are using various scanning processes. Port scanning is there, network scanning. Well, means deep scanning is there now. Initially, we have collected information broadly. Now here we will do deep scanning. which port is open, what is the IP address of the system, related information of that system, what is the weakness of the system, that you will get here. Initially, you don't have any idea. Just you are collecting information, that is your first step. Here, you have got some idea. Using that idea, you are going to do this type of scanning. Means at least you know the website. You know website now. Using that website, you are collecting the open port. Using that server, which are open port are there, which are closed port, what is the IP address of that server, that you are getting, validating whether it is right or not. Then after getting all the information, you will launch the attack. While launching attack, here we have to gain, first we have to gain the system access as well as maintain that system access. So here we will stop. Tomorrow we will see implementation part of this. Implementation means how we are going to conduct such type of attack, how we can gather information, not conducting attack only, we will check the gathering information, how attacker can gather information of particular victim. That I will show tomorrow, and afterward we will start the next point. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
we will stop here only today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.